Hi, I'm Corey. Welcome to Creating with Scraps. This is going to be a flip through of the completed Stamperia Forest, and I'm going to show you at the end how I constructed each of the inserts. What I'm not going to do is show you how I decorated each page, because one, that's personal and you can decorate it any way you choose, and two, it's incredibly time consuming, so I wouldn't be able to get it done in a timely manner, and this is way overdue anyway. So anyway, we'll get started. Just to start off, this is all that's left of a 12 by 12 paper pad. Now, I probably could have made more journaling cards or something and used up the last of it, but there's just a little tiny bit left over. So a lot of the embellishments and such that I made are all using the Stamperia Forest, but there are bits and pieces and pieced together items, and so that's why it would take way too long to show you how I embellished it and such. But I think it'll be fairly intuitive once I show you how the construction of the pages work. It started with this, and then every time I create something, you know, my prototype doesn't always look like the end project, though some of the things are similar. I did use canvas. I changed up the front. Somebody had mentioned that I'd seen this on Pinterest at one point, this configuration of a pocket and an image and such, and that it was Izzy B. Craft Creation. So I haven't seen her video if she's got one, but I wanted to make sure and give her credit for this configuration. The subsequent journal I did a little bit differently. I put a magnet on the first one, and I did not like the magnet because it just didn't hold it tight enough. But some of the things I did do the same. I did do the inserts the same, and let's see if I can zoom out just a bit. There we go. No, shoot, I didn't want to zoom out because of the light overhead. I'm trying to not let that overhead light glare. Anyway, I did sew in the inserts, the envelope inserts. No, try that again, Corey. I did sew in the envelope bases just like I did on this one, and I did make inserts for the envelopes just like I had mentioned. But one of the things I changed is here you can see the place for the gusset goes all the way down to the page, and on the new book I cut these so that the inserts would slide in and out a little bit easier. But other than that, it's essentially the same. I didn't layer the lace here because I have another project in mind where I want to do that, and I didn't save enough paper to do a paper pocket on the front, so there's some slight alterations, but it's essentially the same journal otherwise. And here it is. I tied it because, like always, it turned out to be fat, and I figured if I tied it, it would help hold it in place. I chose the fox image for the front because it makes me think of Tracy Fox from Tracy Fox Creative, and I pretty much adore her. So I wanted to have that on there as a reminder. One of the things I did on a lot of these pieces is I used Nouveau Deluxe Nouveau Crystal Glaze on some of the images, which just gives it a little bit of a sheen. And then on some of the eyes for the critters, I used Nouveau, I don't know what it's called, Crystal Drops Black, just to make them stand out a little bit more. For, you know, because it was cardstock, it was already plenty thick, but I wanted just a little bit of extra something to it. The inside pocket for a note for her. I'm not sure if I'm going to give this away or I'm going to keep it. I just haven't decided yet. I've got several more in the works, but it's going to be a while before I get to those and put them in my Etsy shop. Anyway, I've got a pocket, and I would put you know, my normal letter to the bookmaker or letter to the recipient and information card like I normally would. And then again, there are 5 signatures and there are 5 inserts, and each of the inserts are slightly different. My goal with them was to create options. And what I mean by that is junk journalers junk journal for a variety of reasons. A lot of people like to just write and journal, which is fabulous. So I wanted to make sure there was plenty of room to write. But many are like me, and we like to include photos and memorabilia. And so I wanted to make sure that there was plenty of room for that. And there are a variety. Some are mostly focused on writing, some are focused on writing and memorabilia, and some are focused on writing, memorabilia, and journal and photos. And so some combinations. And the inserts are all different, but they focus on those different things. So you can see here, I cut down that little flap here just to make it flush, and it made it a lot easier to put the inserts inside. The completed inserts are I should know this by heart by now, 6 inches, is that right? 6 inches? No, I'm sorry, they're 5 inches by 8 inches. So 8 inches tall, 5 inches wide. And I used the paper that I told you I was going to create all the inserts, this. And I'd shared that in the original video. But that's what I used to create all the inserts. All right, I'm going to sit down simply because I think it might be a little easier to show you. And then I'll show you the pieces that I made. All right, this first insert, I've got, without all the pieces in it, it's just a scrap piece. And this is one of the last ones I created. I used little offcuts of all the little bits and layered them on top of card, and I made 2 pockets that way. And I do that quite frequently simply because it's a great way to use up scraps, plus it's kind of a lot of fun and it ties the whole thing together. And then I just made a little bit of a fabric flip and an over the pocket flip with a scrap cluster. And these scrap clusters, I don't know how well you can see that, they all use just pieces from the Stamperia Forest. And this is just a fussy cut. One of the pages is images, and I just fussy cut several of those images and then use scraps again. So you've got all of those are places to write. And then open it up, and there's a whole booklet of writing plays. I put 5 pages in, so that's 10 pages front and back. And it's just lined paper to write, to tell your story. And the idea is that the little bits that are included throughout the book, if you wanted to embellish a page, you know, you only wanted to tell a story or share a memory for a part of it, you can put those little embellished pieces on. All right, this one was, because there's so much writing space here, I didn't make this one as fat as some of the others. So there's this little partially fussy cut bear is a tuck spot, and it's just an opening card with lined, coffee dyed card with some lined, index card with some lined roll inside. And I could have made this into a pocket, but again, my book was getting pretty chubby, and I wanted to, you know, just really focus on the beauty of these images. And that was something that I really struggled with, but I enjoyed doing, is trying to make these beautiful images on this paper the primary focus. Okay, and then so you flip this open, and then there is a bottom tuck as, whoops, trying to keep this in frame, bottom tuck with a double-sided journaling card. I used a combination of the same cardstock that the craft cardstock that I mentioned, and some coffee dyed tracing paper and the kit, and that is about it. I added bits of lace and ink and such, but essentially that's all there is in this. And so there's a pocket on the bottom, and then just another journaling card pocket on the top. And same idea over here. There is on the journaling card on the pocket, and then the back pocket is a journaling card, a double-sided journaling card. And then you flip this over, and here is a belly band. Now I picked up these, a variety of these at yard sales, and they're just page protectors with different size slots. This one's only 4 inches, a little over 4 inches wide. I cut off the, you know, the plastic piece that has the circles to put it inside of a 3-ring binder type journal. But I thought I'd include this so that, you know, for mini photos or for memorabilia or just additional journaling places. I really tried to do that throughout. And then this is just a simple double-sided journaling card, again using some scraps. So there's going to be, most of them have something along these lines in it, so that you can take it out if it's not something you wanted to include, but you also have the option of including some photos or memorabilia with that. So that's the reason this is included. And then the other side is the same thing. This one was intended to be the heavy writing one, and it's got you know, another 10 sides, so lots and lots of journaling space on this insert. And I'm not going to put the inserts in each one, but they do easily. Let me move it back over here so you can see. They do slide in and out. I mean, even though the journal is really chunky, they do go in and out pretty easily because of the size that I made them. So there is that. So that's insert number 1. And then I put these in order just based on color. I wanted to break up the mostly off-white and brown, and then the colorful ones, green and blue. So there's not any other rationale to it than that. the order that they come in. This one was a really chubby one, and I wanted kind of like a little fold out on the front. So this is just kind of a fold over, flip over type of a flip out journal, okay? And on each side there are some journaling pieces and journaling cards. This is just a little simple 3-flip journaling card and tucks back into there. And here is another journaling card, opens up, whoops, throw it on the book, or throw it on the page. More places to write, and it's just a little tuck on a fold over piece. And then you flip this, and then there's a journaling card on the front. And the way I constructed this is I took I had this piece of cardstock. Well, I'll show you that later, and I'll show you how I did that. And then the journaling card on the front, and then a scrap belly band with some, again, journaling space, and just a little tag with a pocket tucked inside that belly band. And then here's a fun little booklet I did with one of those tags. I kind of struggled using these tags in here for some reason, but I put some Wink of Stella. That's a set to my friend Gail, who's joined us for the Initially You kickoff to 2022, and she was using glitter for Gail. And this is Wink of Stella, which I don't know how well you can see it. It's sparkly. It's kind of smooth and small and sparkly. And so that was for her. And it's just, when you open it up, it's just a little booklet with more pages to write sewn in. And then there's, again, a journaling card in the back, a lined journaling card with a bunch of scraps, collaged scraps. And I did C for collage and clusters, and this is one of the collage pieces. I thought about showing it during the video, but the video got so long as it was. So anyway, that's just the front, and then you open it up, and on the inside there are, I think, another 5 pages of journaling space, and a journaling card tucked into the side here. And then you open it up, and there is a journaling card in the back, and just a scrap card with one of those fussy cut images, and more note paper. This kind is perforated, and I'm sure you can't see it because I have a hard time seeing it, but it's a way to write notes and such. And so I did that as a fold over from this coffee dyed tracing paper pocket. And then here are some little bits in this fold over piece. Let's see. This is just a fussy cut leaf and a little ticket tag. I put in a couple loose tickets and tags that I had elsewhere, but pretty much all the ephemera. Oh, here is just a little scrap cluster that I tucked in that, you know, if you were writing, you could tuck on a page if you chose to. And I did, like I said, put in a couple of tags that went with it just to give some more options. And that flips over, and then another journaling place here. And then that's that one. It's kind of, like I said, kind of chunky, but this one was primarily focused on writing with the option to embellish if you chose to. All right, the back of this one. The back of this one is that multi-pocket, and there's all kinds of stuff in here. There's a large journaling card. There is the fussy cut bear, and just another card to, bit of card to decorate. Fussy cut fox. And then there are little bits and pieces. I included one of the what are those things called? The where you make a wish. Those things. I know there's a name for them. It's just escaping me. But I saved some last summer and put them in plastic, and I included one of those because this is a nature journal. And then just some of the word cards and tickets, and just little fussy cut. There's a fussy cut squirrel and the fussy cut porcupine. So those are all tucked in those little pockets. And this, again, is one of those page protectors, so you could put photos in here as well, or bits of memorabilia. And though these are attached to this particular page, they can be used anywhere in the journal to decorate the pages. And this next one, this one is just a simple fold, almost like a tri-fold. And I went with the back of this one has this angle, and so the front, what I did with the pieces, I emulated the angles. So I did, double pocket angles. And then here is a large journaling card with a pocket on top. And again, I used some of the Nouveau Deluxe Crystal Glaze, Diamond Glaze, Glossy Accents, any of those. It's the same idea. And then a large journaling card on that. And then the bird, I just kind of copied the mirror image of the bird. I liked the way they looked together. And this is just one of the square cards in there. I just thought it was really pretty, and you can use it as an embellishment. It tucks in, and then just a double tag to, add some interest. And so that's the front of this insert. And then I left all the backs of the inserts flat with no embellishments or pockets or things, just so it would slide in and out easily of the bases. And would it slide in and out easily with anything on here? I don't know, I didn't try, but you could also put a large photo, like a 4x6 photo on the back of this, and that was another reason I left them plain, in case you were wanting to include photos. Scrap cluster, and again, all of this little booklet follows that same pattern of triangle pieces, and I just used squares and cut the squares in half, and that gave me my triangles. And so there's a double pocket tuck there. This is one of those plastic sleeves for photos, and I left I left journaling cards in there so that you could use journaling cards if you chose, but you could also just substitute those with ephemera, memorabilia, or photos. And then this one, there's a large notepad, so lots and lots of room to write. And in the back, there are, again, with the triangular pockets, and a couple more of these either journaling cards or photo cards. And then this piece flips out, and a double one of these journaling cards. This is the one I think that has the most photo options. Again, memorabilia works there as well. And then the fussy cut foxes flips over, and then there's pockets on this side to do the same thing. So there's that, there's the large one with it that goes in this back pocket. And then the smaller one goes in the front pocket with just a little journaling tag. So that is insert number 3. And, the back of this one. This one was just a real large notepad. These are the perforated tear apart ones. So there's a bunch of those that you can use to either journal on or tear apart, often use. Made a large journaling space with that. And journaling card. And then this flips up. Whoops, we're going to take that out. And then there's one of those... not Hermelinda, gosh, I can't believe I'm drawing a blank on her name. I can picture her. Rita Donnelly flips. There you go. It's a Rita Donnelly flip. Okay, and here, the next one, I had saved a fern from a bike ride this summer, and so I dried that, and I enclosed it on the front with just some scraps. And one of the quote cards. There's a whole bunch of those. There was a page of fussy cut pieces, and there was a page of words, and I think Latin and Italian, not Latin, Italian and French and Spanish, I believe, is what they were in. And there's a couple English as well. But there was a variety of options, which was really nice. And so then you open this up, and you open this up, and again, there's a writing pad here with, I don't know, a lot, 5-10 pages of writing, lots of places to write. And then I folded it over here. I put a scrap cluster just for a little bit of decoration on the front. And then I used 2 more of these, the square cards that are on one of the pages, and backed those to make journaling cards. And then just a little booklet with one of the scraps, just a place to write, a little journaling card, and just a fun little booklet made of scraps. Tuck that in there. And then this is another one for large photos. Now I fussy cut the squirrel and the eagle, but they're loose, so you can leave them there or glue them down if you choose, but you could also take them out if you were wanting to use photos. So there's a place for 1, 2, 3, and 4 photos. And this is let's see if I can come down, a collaged journaling card that can also be used, that can be removed and just used for photos. And that's true on both sides. I did the same thing on both sides. So 1, 2, 3, 4, room for 4 photos. And then this one's another collaged card. And then in the back, There is a bookmark, you know, just one of those images with a bookmark. And I, again, didn't make more pockets because it was getting really fat. And then this one was kind of a fun journaling card. I had used a circle punch for something, and so I put another leaf in here and one of the word strips or sentiments, and just tuck that into that pocket. So there we go. This is here, and just, you know, a little bit, another option. And then the back of this one, I did show you the back of the last one. Okay, so a real large journaling tag, and I just put a piece of coffee dyed tracing paper on the back. And then just a journaling tag into a pocket on the front with one of those images from the kit, and yeah, from the paper kit. And that's the large journaling card that goes in the back. Let's see. Oh, this one was kind of fun. So I had a hard time for some reason using tags, and I don't know why. I don't normally have a hard time. So what I did is I took 4 of the tags and cut them down and backed them with coffee dyed tracing paper, and then just kind of put them together into a little booklet. So they can be used separately throughout the book, or they can be used as just a little journaling book. Here, I just tied it real loosely so that it would be easy to leave that way or take apart if you chose to. Here is just a little writing space, and I originally was going to just back it as a card, and then it was a little bit longer, and so I added a scrap at the end so that it would, you know, so that it would fit to be a flip-up journaling card. And then this is just another one of those little booklets, you know, a little itty-bitty tag with a tuck spot, and then some writing paper. Those are always a lot of fun and a great way to use up some of those scraps. And then here is just another bookmark, double-sided bookmark. You could certainly write on the back, but also just to mark your place in the book. All right, the last pocket or base, and this one was probably one of my favorites. It's kind of simple, but I really liked it. Nigeza Creates, and I think that she's called Jez. I saw one of her videos, somebody had suggested it, and she did this, and I really, really liked it with a large image. I loved that eagle image. So I, you know, just used a scrap belly band basically with some Velcro on it to hold this piece closed. And then cut apart, we used to do this with photos in scrapbooking back in the day, but what I did here is what Jez did, and lifted it up so each one is a place to journal. So there's lined journaling under each one of these little flip-ups. And that was a lot of fun. I hadn't done that before. Well, I did it with photos, cut them in pieces like this, but I'd never made them flip up like this before, and I really like that. I think I'll do that again. And then just hold in place with a belly band. And then this was a super simple insert, just kind of folds with writing places on both sides. There are writing pads, 5 pages, I think, so 10 sides on both sides. And another one of those scrap card pockets, this time with a piece of vellum to make a double pocket. And so I used some of their C'est la vie, ça va passer, C'est la vie, ça va passer. And I don't speak Spanish, or maybe that one's Italian. I don't remember which is which, but it looks Spanish. Anyway, I put those in there so that they could be used somewhere in the book if chose, or just left here. And then another cluster, and then just a journaling card with an image inside. I thought that was kind of fun because you could certainly write over that and use the front and the back. So there's that. And then you come over to this side, and this piece flips down, and then there's a pocket on the back with another cluster, and a double-sided journaling tag, 2 of those, and some more of those squares. This eagle is just mesmerizing, so I made those into journaling spots, but they can be used however. And then just a place to write right here. I didn't put a notepad on it because there's another notepad over here, but then this another cluster, again with the scrap collage, and then just that quote card again from the cut-aparts. And then fold this up, and then there's a pocket here with a long journaling card. I can take those out, but and then the same thing on this side, 2 of those little squares with 2 little journaling tags or journaling cards on there. And then fold it up. I think this one was my favorite just because I really liked this, and I like the simplicity of this particular piece. And again, the back is blank, And the back of this one is that Tracy Fox image, or that, it's not Tracy Fox, the Fox image with a tuck spot with a pocket and a pocket. So there's another journaling tag, journaling card, and then another journaling card. So there's a whole bunch of places to journal in here. And this back pocket, I did tuck a little bit because I had a little bit extra. I was going to put this in the front. It's a scrap journaling card with 4 pockets, well, 3 pockets, and then the 4th if you glue it down. So there is a pocket here and a pocket here, and then a pocket right here. And then once it lays down, there's that 4th pocket. But I tucked them in to the side so that they can be used elsewhere as needed or if desired. So that's it. Okay, I told myself I was going to try to stay to the 30-minute time limit. So I'll come back tomorrow, and I'll have time after school. I'll come back tomorrow and show you how I made each of the inserts. Again, I'm not going to get into the decorating, but I'll show you how I constructed them so that if you chose to do something different, you can. And look, you can see I used the flexion pen, and I forgot to heat that, so I'll heat that as well. All right, thank you for watching. I apologize for the delay, and happy creating.